Gentlemen, I am back, and it's time to break down the Jim Nantz title game. Brewski Bombers, Dirty Jersey Birds. Like I said, 10 minutes only. You all know the drill. Let's get to it. Obviously, we started already on Thursday. We had the Texans' defense going. They only went for 9 points, which hurt the Dirty Jersey Birds because they were predicted for 13. So obviously, points are going to be a little bit more docketed, especially when it comes to the prediction as it stands right now on CBS. But what do we got? Well, it's simple. The tight end QB combinations are going head-to-head this week. It's only fitting. It's been such a big combination this year between all the top quarterbacks and their big-time tight ends. So this championship game has Drew Brees and Jimmy Graham going up against Tony Romo and Jason Witten. Obviously, Brees and Graham are going at it, Monday night. Obviously, we're not sure what the situation is going to be in this game when it comes to points and how much you're going to need. But last time they faced Atlanta, Brees and Graham combined for something around 35 points, I believe, 24. Yeah, like 35 to 38 points they combined for. So obviously it's it's a potent combination. You can expect points there. So I'm going to say they at least combined for it's Atlanta. They're home though, so I still think it's going to be a tough game. But I still think they're going to combine for something around 30 to 35 points, as usual. As for Romo and Witten, throughout the year, you guys know I love big time tight ends against that Eagles defense. I expect Romo to be throwing the ball a lot. Asante Samuel's out. The running back situation is still in flux for Dallas, so I expect Romo to continue throwing the rock. He's been playing very great lately. He had a great week last week against Tampa Bay. I expect that to continue. Romo Witten, I also expect them to combine for 30 to 35 points yet again. Now, when it comes to the running back situation, it's a little dicey. We got MJD and Ryan Matthews going up against Chris Johnson, and right now it's Evan Royster. Obviously, it's 12:26 right now, closing in on game time. Royster is still up in the air for the Dirty Jersey Birds. It might be Mike Tolbert. It might be somebody else. That's still, up for debate. Minnesota's, they've been decent against the run, but, Royster seems like he's going to be the bell cow this week. Roy Halu's inactive. No one really knows what's going on with Ryan Terrain, but, he is, Terrain is active, so it's tough. I'll tell you right now, it's tough for me because I don't want to get Shanahan in the finals of all places. So, that's still in question. But if Royster does get the carries, he can go for anywhere between 5 to 8 points, depending on how much, he gets the ball. Chris Johnson against Jacksonville. Obviously, this would usually be a matchup that I'm excited about, but, he's predicted for 8 points right now. He's got a bum, he's got the bum ankle. So no one really knows how much he's going to be able to, go. He's looked slow this year to begin with, not throwing an ankle injury. It's all that the Dirty Jersey Birds have to offer, though. So he's the number 3 pick. I expect him to stay in the lineup, and I expect him to go for anywhere between 8 and 10 points. If he went lower, it wouldn't shock me. On the other side, MJD, also, he's active this week, but he also had a little bit of a bum ankle. He's predicted for 18 against Tennessee, so obviously Johnson and MJD going up against each other here, so it's very fitting. But MJD is, he's a horse. Nothing's going to stop this guy. He's predicted for 18. I don't know if he's going to get that much. I like him in that 12 to 15 point range this week, but still obviously very strong. So obviously I like MJD a lot against Tennessee. Ryan Matthews has been unbelievable. He's been rushing the ball great this past month. He's predicted for 14 against Detroit. Detroit's decent against the run, but I like Matthews a lot in this game. Obviously, he's the premier feature back right now for the Chargers. Mike Tolbert's taking a big time back seat. The only thing he's getting is maximum 8 carries a game. Maybe a goal line touch here or there, but it's the Matthews show. He's predicted for 14. I like that number. So Matthews against Detroit, love the matchup. Now when we come to wide receivers, big time plays this week. Brandon Marshall and Jabbar Gaffney up against Larry Fitzgerald and Mike Wallace. Brandon Marshall's been banged up, but he is playing. He's active, and it's the knee that's been bothering him. But I'm pretty sure I could go out there with a bum knee and do work against that Patriots secondary. So Marshall blew them up earlier in the year. He's playing. Matt Moore's playing very good football. I like Brandon Marshall this week. He's predicted for 12. I agree with that. I like that as I like that 10 to 12 point range for Marshall this week. So obviously great play there. Jabbar Gaffney, he's predicted for 7. I think he's going over that. Again, no one really knows what they're going to be. When it comes to running the ball for Washington. So. I think Rex is going to be throwing the ball a lot. Jabbar Gaffney's the number 1, right? I think he's emerged even above Santana Moss. And, obviously Fred Davis is out. He's predicted for 7. I like him for at least 10 points in this game. I expect Rex to be throwing the ball a lot, like I said. Then we have Larry Fitzgerald and Mike Wallace. Fitz against Cincinnati. John Scoutlin's playing, so he's going to be looking Fitz's way. Fitz didn't find the end zone last week. I think he finds it this week. I think Cincinnati is not getting tripped up. They're still in the race, obviously, but I think the pressure's getting to them a little. And I think Skelton and this Cardinal team is going to be playing some inspired football. I think that the Cardinals can win this game. I think Larry Fitzgerald can handle his business against that defense. So he's predicted for 12. It's a solid number. I think he gets that this way. I think he finds the end zone. I like the 12-point prediction. As for Mike Wallace, no Big Ben. Big Ben's not playing. He's active, but he's not starting. Charlie Batch is going to get the start. It's St. Louis, so this is a game where usually I would absolutely love Mike Wallace. He's predicted for 8. That's the safe bet. I think, I'm not sure how much Batch is going to be throwing the ball. So that puts Wallace in question, especially with his big playability. But I do think they're going to try to get the ball in his hands. He hasn't found the end zone. He wants the end zone, obviously. And it's been a while since he's had a 100-yard game. So he's predicted for 8. That's a solid base. I think he can fall anywhere in that 8 to 12 range. Anything below that, I would be shocked, even with Batch starting. So I like that 8 to 12-point range for Wallace. Obviously, we covered the tight ends. We come to the flex. Ahmad Bradshaw and Julio Jones. Ahmad Bradshaw's going up against the Jets. This is a statement game for both teams. They need this badly. Guns are going to be blazing. On the field, they're probably off the field in the stands because this is going to be a wild environment. I expect Bradshaw to get his points, to get his touches. I still think Brandon Jacobs is going to be, taking some carries away as well. But, Bradshaw's a force, in the passing game as well. I do think Eli's going to be throwing the ball a lot, though. I think he's going to be trying to stretch the field, take advantage of that secondary, minus Darrelle Revis, obviously. He wants to attack those safeties. So I think Eli's going to be trying, deep at first. Obviously, the running game's going to be mixed in. He's predicted for 10. I like him in that 7 to 9-point range. But obviously, Bradshaw does have, home run threat, written on him, even though, he has the bum foot. But still, I like Bradshaw this week for that at least 7 points in that game. Julio Jones is going up against New Orleans again Monday night. Hopefully, we will be coming down to a Saints Falcons, Breeze and Grant versus Julio, for the title. It would be very fitting if it happens. But Julio's predicted for 9 points. I like him for more. He had a rough outing last time against the Saints. I think he's ready for this one. He went for 14 points last week, 85 yards and a touch against the Jaguars. I think he wants this game badly. He wants to take advantage of that Saints secondary. I think Matt Ryan's going to be getting him the ball. I think Ryan's going to be getting the ball as well, but I really think Julio's going to have a strong game in this one. This is what they drafted him for. Big games like this, to make big plays. I like Julio on this one. He's predicted for 9. I like him in that 12 to 15-point range. I just think this is going to be his best game of the season. That's what I'm feeling. So we'll see what happens there. Then we come to the special teams. Baronis and the Niners against Sebastian Janikowski. As we know, the Texans already played, went for 9. Janikowski's up against KC. He went for 11 points last week, kicking the ball. I like him again for double digits. It's Sebastian Janikowski. The Raiders' defense, offense stalls out at times. Janikowski got the big leg. I like it for double digits, so I like the prediction of 10 points. And then finally, we have Rob Baronis against Jacksonville. He's predicted for 9. I think Tennessee's going to be, scoring some points against Jacksonville, and obviously they can stall out as well. So I like Baronis for that, 8 to 10 point range. So 9's good. And then the Niners defense is predicted for 14 against Seattle. It's in Seattle, so that bodes well, for Seattle's offense a little. But their offense runs through Marshawn Lynch, running back plus Niners defense equals a dud. We'll see what happens. They're predicted for 14. I like them regardless for double digits. Anywhere from that 10 to 15 point range. So we're coming in with 40 seconds left. Who do I think is going to win? Right now, it's a strong favorite for the Brewski Bombers. It pains me to say this, and I hope I'm wrong, obviously because it's me, but I do think that the Brewski Bombers are going to win this game. They're a 30-point favorite right now, give or take a couple things. Obviously, injuries are going to be playing a big role in this as well, but I like them. Will Breeze and Graham sink them on Monday night? Sink Julio Jones on Monday night? We'll see. I like Ryan Matthews to be the player of the game, going for over 100 yards and maybe 2 scores. So there you have it, guys. Jim Nantz Trophy being hoisted by the Brewski Bombers. That's what I got. Be good.